education in her center. So, ma'am, we are honored and obliged to have you today.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Can we start? Ma'am, it's over.
Sorry.
Yes, ma'am. It's over to you.
Yeah, 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. Sorry. Yeah. I was not audible, I think, or the.
Ma'am, you are audible.
Am I audible now? Yes. Okay. So may I start, please, with
Yes,
everybody's
ma'am.
permission? Yeah. A
Yes.
very good evening to everybody, and It's a pleasure to join this interesting webinar for parents. And today I would like to speak not just as a professional but also as a mother, because professionally it is very easy to uh, talk about discipline, but when it comes to your own child, you do face a lot of hurdles, and you really don't know sometimes whether you're doing it the right way or not. So I'm very glad that I have this opportunity of sharing my views with other mothers across the country. And with everybody's permission, I would like to start. So, discipline for children. What exactly is disciplining a child? So, discipline is the process of teaching your child what behaviors are acceptable and what are not, and to help your child become self resilient, respectful, and responsible. So, basically, it is a way of teaching your child to behave properly, to become self reliant, to be a respectful and responsible member of the society. So, for that, we need to know first that every parent is different, and every parent has different styles of parenting. So psychologists have identified different parenting styles. So I would like to discuss them briefly. So the first is the authoritative parenting style of disciplining. This is a very positive way of disciplining a child. Usually in this kind of disciplining, the parents use a lot of warmth. They have firm control over the child. They are rational, and they discipline with an emphasis on self direction. And they encourage autonomy and self direction, but also at the end, they accept complete responsibility for their own child's behavior. So they expect the child to learn good behaviors with their guidance, but with a close supervision on them. The next is the authoritarian kind of disciplining. So this is, I think, now not very common in urban parents, because this is where parents use punishments and absolute and very strict discipline, and they really do not take the child's views into consideration. And it is a very punitive type of disciplining, where children are not to be heard but only to be seen. The next is the permissive and indulgent. This is the type of parenting where parents just want their child to be happy, and they would like to give in to the child's demands just to keep the child happy, to prevent tantrums, to prevent scenes and emotional meltdowns. So, this is not a very good way of disciplining, and this would probably raise children who are, more, who expect gratification immediately, and what you would call in lay terms is like a spoiled brat. That is what this kind of disciplining would raise children as. There is indifferent parenting, that parents are very much involved in their own world. They have very little to do with their child's activities, and have minimal involvement in their children's activities. And the last is the connected type of disciplining. This is the disciplining which is the most effective, and which we do see a lot today, where parents place a lot of emphasis on empathy and being connected to their child to enable the child to become more confident, more resilient, and to uh, have a complete involvement in the child emotionally as well as physically. Usually it's very easy to make such differences, but very often parents move between these styles. So sometimes you have to be authoritative. It's okay sometimes to be indulgent, and but authoritarian, I feel, is not what parents should be indulging in, and always remain connected. So it's very difficult to really differentiate in the types when you're actually dealing with your own child. But it would be the most ideal combination would be to be authoritative when the need demands, to be permissive when it is okay sometimes, and to always be connected to your child. So when does disciplining actually start? So when do you feel that you should, discipline your child? So for that, we need to know the kind of disciplining that is required at the various stages of childhood. So infancy, that is the first year of life. So you would feel that what is there to discipline in a small baby? So it's not the baby who needs discipline. It is the parents, the mothers who need to discipline themselves to take care of the child. In that, the first thing is you need to follow a schedule. A baby needs to have regular feeding time, sleep time, because a newborn baby doesn't have a regular sleep cycle. For a regular sleep cycle to develop, it takes about a year. So babies don't know the difference between day and night. So they would take their naps as and when they are fed. And every baby again is different. Some are demanding, some are cranky, some are peaceful. So depending on that, every child's sleep pattern is different. So you need to identify your child's sleep pattern, the feeding pattern, and then accordingly provide that to the child. एंड पुराने ज़माने में इट वाज दैट 1.5 month ऑफ कंप्लीट रेस्ट, कि माँ और बच्चा दे आर सेक्लूडेड, एक ही कमरे में बंद रखा है. सो it used to feel it used to feel very cloistered, but sometimes old fashioned activities are really very sensible. Basically, this the intention of keeping the mother and child together isolated is to develop a bond between the child and the mother, and to let the mother completely focus on the baby and not worry about other things. Aajkal there is pressure for joining jobs or work from home, and there's a lot of stress involved. So a lot of mothers do away with this particular period of 1.5 months of rest. But that is very important for the mother and baby to form a bond, and for the mother to actually understand the baby's needs and then fulfill those needs accordingly. Providing security to the baby is also very important in this age. Now, how do you provide security? एक समझ है अपने, काफी बड़े लोग घर में बोलते हैं कि अगर बेबी रोता है तो रोने दो, वरना बार बार उठाने की आदत लग जाएगी. बट आई फील दैट इन द फर्स्ट 2-3 months स्पेशली, अगर बच्चा रो रहा है तो द फर्स्ट थिंग दैट यू नीड टू डू इज पिक अप द चाइल्ड एंड सूद द चाइल्ड, होल्ड इट क्लोज, बिकॉज दैट इज वॉट प्रोवाइड्स द सिक्योरिटी. 6 महीने के बाद एनीवे बेबी इज गोइंग टू स्टार्ट क्रॉलिंग, स्टार्ट एक्सप्लोरिंग द एनवायरमेंट, so he will not want to be in your arms all the time. So in the first 6 months, if you respond to a baby's crying immediately with immediate physical warmth and security, these babies become more emotionally secure faster and they settle down. फिर उनका रोना, फीडिंग का इश्यूज जल्दी खत्म हो जाता है. नेक्स्ट इज द अर्ली टॉडलर, 1 से 2 साल के बीच में. ये उम्र है जब बच्चे एक्सप्लोर करना सीखते हैं, एक्सपेरिमेंटिंग सीखते हैं, चलना सीखते हैं. तो यहाँ जाओ, वहाँ जाओ, ये उठा के देखो, ये मुंह में डालो. सो एक हद तक ये अलाउ करना चाहिए, क्योंकि ये उनका नेचुरल बिहेवियर है, उसको एनकरेज करना चाहिए. बट एट द सेम टाइम you have to ensure their safety, that they are not putting anything in their mouth, they are not going anywhere जहाँ पे उनको कुछ हार्म हो. ये एज में अग्रेशन भी शुरू हो जाता है. बच्चों को अपने बिहेवियर्स का कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस समझ में नहीं आता. सो अग्रेशन को लिमिट करने में उनको मदद करनी चाहिए। डिस्ट्रक्टिव बिहेवियर भी शुरू होता है इसी एज में, क्योंकि again they don't understand the consequences of their behavior, so you have to teach them that what they are doing could harm somebody, so you have to prevent this destructive behavior. Then comes the 2 to 3 years, तो इसको we call it terrible twos and terrible threes, because यहाँ पे बच्चा अपने आप को असर्ट करने को सीखने लगता है। तो उनमें एक स्ट्रगल होता है कि उनको जो सही लगता है उनको वही करना होता है, उनको उसके कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस समझ में नहीं आते, तो हमें वो समझने चाहिए। और इसकी वजह से ही, बिकॉज ऑफ द स्ट्रगल फॉर सेल्फ असर्शन, काफ़ी बच्चों में टेम्पर टैंट्रम्स शुरू हो जाते हैं। बच्चों में वो दे स्टार्ट रोलिंग ऑन द फ्लोर, हेड बैंगिंग, स्क्रीमिंग, शाउटिंग। सो इसके बारे में हमें अवेयर होना चाहिए। और इसी टाइम में मॉम्स को स्पेशली बहुत ज़्यादा पेशेंस और एम्पैथी की ज़रूरत पड़ती है, बिकॉज कभी कभी टेम्पर टैंट्रम्स जब बच्चा थ्रो करता है तो इट इज़ वेरी डिस्टर्बिंग एंड फ्रस्ट्रेटिंग फॉर द मदर, एंड शी ऑल्सो फील्स कि लोग क्या कहेंगे आजू बाजू में, इफ़ यू आर इन अ पब्लिक प्लेस, मॉल में है, एंड दैट इज़ द टाइम व्हेन द चाइल्ड डिसाइड्स टू let go and roll on the floor and cry. You can't even spank him, you can't even shout at him. So you need to just lift the child up and take the child away from the place. So that is the best thing you can do without losing your own calm, which is the most challenging thing I think mothers will have to face. Then comes the preschoolers, 3 to 5 years. ये एज है जब बच्चों को रोल मॉडल समझ में आते हैं। सो अपना बिहेवियर कैसा है वो उस पर हमें खुद में ध्यान देना चाहिए, सो दैट बच्चा also tries to imitate that and uses you as their role model. So if you are a screaming, shouting type of person, then the child will probably adopt that same behavior. So trying to stay calm at every time whenever it is possible is the best way you can role model for your child. Whenever they behave well, it is always necessary to praise them, appreciate them for every little small good thing that they do. And the most difficult, that is the ignoring the bad behavior. So it is very difficult to ignore bad behavior, and it is a struggle which mothers go through. But trust me, if you do it consistently, if you ignore a bad behavior consistently, at the same time if you praise a good behavior consistently, over a period of time, the tantrums, the behavior issues, the indiscipline of the child will slowly but surely reduce. And you can introduce time out. This is quite a Western concept. अपने यहाँ बेसिकली बच्चे ने नहीं सुना तो वी स्टार्ट स्पैंकिंग द चाइल्ड एट दिस एज. अभी आजकल स्पैंकिंग, मारना इज समथिंग विच इज एक्चुअली नॉट परमिटेड एंड नॉट एडवाइजेबल. सो टाइम आउट इज समथिंग जो, अगर बच्चे ने कुछ बिहेवियर गलत दिखाया है तो उसको एक ऐसे जगह पे बिठाओ जहाँ उसको कोई एंटरटेनमेंट भी ना हो लेकिन आपकी नज़र में हो, और उस पर्टिकुलर टाइम के लिए कोई उससे बात ना करे. अभी बात ना करे, अगर 3 से 5 साल का बच्चा है तो टाइम आउट शुडंट बी मोर देन 5 to 10 minutes, बिकॉज दैट इज द ओनली अटेंशन स्पैन दैट दे हैव. और जैसे बच्चा बड़ा होता है ये टाइम आउट का टाइमिंग आप बढ़ा सकते हो. सो दिस इज अ वेरी इफेक्टिव मेथड ऑफ डिसिप्लिनिंग अ चाइल्ड एंड ensuring that his behavior is not appreciated and not accepted. Then comes the school age. अभी यहाँ पे independence is increasing, the child's independence is increasing. दोस्त बनाते हैं, एक्सप्लोर करना सीखते हैं. सो ये हमें समझना चाहिए कि बच्चा अभी इंडिपेंडेंट होने की कोशिश कर रहा है और उसको सुपरवाइज भी उतना ही करना चाहिए. अगेन रोल मॉडलिंग इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. बिहेवियरल मॉडल्स आपको खुद को सेट करना है, एंड यू हैव टू प्रोवाइड अ गुड बिहेवियरल मॉडल फॉर द चाइल्ड. ये एज में रूल्स भी अभी सेट करने पड़ते हैं बच्चों को, काफ़ी सारे, सोने के, जागने के, और उसके लिए कंसिस्टेंटली रूल्स सेट करना ज़रूरी है. If you will pardon me for a minute. Sorry. So rules have to be set very consistently. इसका मतलब ये है कि अगर मदर कोई रूल सेट करती है तो फादर शुड ऑल्सो अग्री विथ इट. अगर डिसअग्री करते हो तो डेफिनेटली आपका डिसअग्रीमेंट बच्चे के सामने डिस्प्ले ना होना चाहिए. और जो भी रूल्स सेट होते हैं इट शुड बी सेट एज अ फैमिली, नॉट मदर सेटिंग वन रूल, फादर ब्रेकिंग इट और द अदर वे अराउंड. So that inconsistency children pick up on, and definitely they use it against the parents. So if mother is insisting on one particular rule, and if they realize that the father is not agreeing to that, they have the father's support. So they catch this inconsistency and they use it to their advantage. Another thing is allow autonomy, मतलब freedom उनको थोड़ा सा allow करना चाहिए. कुछ चीज़ों में उनको विद इन लिमिट्स ऑफ कोर्स, उनके एज के हिसाब से. किसी फ्रेंड के यहाँ जाना है तो कितने टाइम के लिए, हु विल बी देयर, विच अडल्ट विल बी देयर टू सुपरवाइज देम. सो दीज लिमिट्स यू कैन सेट एंड अलाउ देम टू do certain activities on their own without your continuous monitoring. Also, you need to give, in this age also, you need to give ample praise and approval to your child every time. So this is for teenagers. So this is 13 to 18 years. So this is, I think, by far the most challenging age, because they think they are semi-adults and we still think they are children. Their world is enlarging, their scope is enlarging, and they feel that they know the best and their friends know the best. And so this is an age where most parents really struggle to keep a check on their children and to understand them and to try and discipline them. So first thing is, don't try to discipline them, but remain available. Be open to them. ये एज में बच्चों को फ्रेंड्स का इन्फ्लुएंस बहुत ज़्यादा रहता है. सो वट एवर द फ्रेंड्स शेयर विद देम इज मोर राइट. Parents don't know anything, they are outdated. So sometimes they may talk about things that may shock us, but if you show that shock on your face, or if you express that shock, they will move away from you. They will learn to hide things from you. So always remain available to speak to your child. सेकेंड थिंग इज, अभी बच्चों के हाथ में गैजेट्स आ गए हैं. ये एज में तो 13-18 ईयर्स में गैजेट्स आने लगे हैं बच्चों के हाथ में. सो दे watch certain things, they are aware of certain things, they are connected to people on the net. But parents are worried about this naturally, because the internet is a very risky place, though it has a lot of scope for information, education, entertainment. At the same time, it is very risky as well. But children have to have their privacy. If their privacy is invaded, it is very offensive and they will definitely not like it. So you need to respect the privacy of your children. You need to, a lot of parents have a habit of spying on their children's activities or checking their bags and checking their phones. So if you remain available to your child and if you try to go to their level and communicate with them, discuss things that appeal to them, anything, it could be the music that they like, the film stars that they like, the activities that they like. Try to understand what they like, acknowledge, acquire some knowledge about it, and keep those communication channels open with them so that they are able to talk to you easily about any topic under the sun. And that is when you will not need to, keep them away. I mean, they will not want to hide anything from you. And maintain equanimity. कभी कभी बच्चे ये एज में आके कुछ भी बोलते हैं जिसकी वजह से हम शॉक हो जाते हैं. Like somebody has a girlfriend, somebody has different gender preferences. So it is sometimes very shocking for parents to even listen to such things. But if you listen to them and you show an interest in what their thoughts are about it, they will always keep communicating with you, and they will learn not to hide things from you. And they will also get that faith कि कुछ भी हो जाए, anything happens, anything good or bad, the first thing I want to come is to share it with my mother, to share it with my father. So these communication channels should always be open with your children, especially during the teenage years. Avoid lecturing and nagging. अगर lecturing और nagging शुरू किया तो they will block you out. They will turn deaf. They will not look at you. They will not listen to you. And especially lecturing में, even though we have heard it from our parents कि हमारे ज़माने में ऐसा था, हमारे ज़माने में वैसा था. If we say these words to our children, they will say, stop your lecture. So avoid comparing your generation with theirs, because every time the world is changing, every generation there is something new. So you cannot apply your benchmarks of your childhood to their childhood. So however tempting it is to tell them कि हम खेलते थे, हम टीवी नहीं देखते थे, हमारे पास मोबाइल नहीं था, but it's okay, now they have it. It's not their fault. They are born in a millennium where all these things are available. So if you lecture them about this, they are not going to be in any mood to listen to you. So please avoid these things with your teenage children and ignore irrelevant behavior. Sometimes teenagers behave as if they have designed their behavior to annoy you. So every little thing that they do sometimes can annoy you. Table पे बैठे हैं, they are banging the table, they're drumming the table, they're humming a song, they're whistling, they're shaking their legs, they're putting on loud music. So in the long run, this behavior is quite irrelevant. So किस behavior को उनको टोकना चाहिए और किस behavior को neglect करना चाहिए, ignore करना चाहिए, ये हमें as parents समझना चाहिए. So there are two types of discipline. मतलब discipline effective कब होता है और कब ineffective होता है. So what is effective discipline? First thing is it should be given by a responsible adult. So that adult is usually the parent, mother or father. If everybody in the family tries to discipline a child, everybody will have their own different styles, and instead of disciplining a child, he will turn rebellious. You should be consistent and you should be fair. तो एक कोई चीज आज नहीं अलाउ की, नेक्स्ट डे अलाउ की. Example for a teenage child, if you give an 18-year-old boy who's just got his license and you say कि चाबी नहीं मिलेगी, तो नहीं मिलेगी. But if you one day you say हाँ लेके जाओ, one day you say don't लेके जाओ, that doesn't really give the right message to your child. So you should be consistent, you should be very fair, you should listen to your child, listen to his point of view also. डिसिप्लिन शुड बी डेवलपमेंटली अप्रोप्रिएट. जैसे मैंने टाइम आउट का बताया, अगर आपने 3 साल के बच्चे को आधा घंटा टाइम आउट दिया तो आई थिंक 10 मिनट में बच्चा तो भूल ही जाएगा, आप भी भूल जाओगे कि आपने टाइम आउट दिया था. सो डेवलपमेंटली अप्रोप्रिएट disciplining is very important. Again, after 12 years, sometimes even though we say कि spanking allowed नहीं है, नहीं करना चाहिए, it is the most ineffective type of discipline. We as moms, we all know that somewhere, sometime we do spank our children, but there should be a limit to that. It should be used very, very sparsely. And after around the age of 10 years, as far as possible, avoid spanking your child. It is extremely humiliating for the child. And it should be self-enhancing. It should be done in such a way that the child himself should feel that I need to do this and I need to not do this. So instead of forcing your opinion or forcing your orders on the child, you should discipline in such a way that the child should himself feel that I should be doing this, I shouldn't be doing this. And it should be based on mutual respect. So we expect our children to respect us. So in the same way, it is very important कि हम भी अपने बच्चे को respect करें, and only then will your disciplining be effective. So what is ineffective disciplining then? First thing, जैसे मैंने बोला, spanking, मारना बच्चे को. So मारना जो है ये basically disciplining है ही नहीं. It is just our instant reaction to a bad behavior. So what we are doing is we are teaching the child that this is the way you react. This is not the way you act. So spanking is very humiliating and it is the most ineffective type of disciplining that we have. Sarcasm, sarcastically कुछ बोलना, ये भी बच्चों को बहुत hurtful और insulting लगता है. So avoid that, please. Instilling shame or guilt using words like idiot ho, stupid ho, duffer ho. So, or these words are very, very detrimental to a child's psyche, and you shouldn't be using any kind of words that will instill shame or guilt in your child. Shouting, threatening, using abusive language, again, should be avoided. And emotional blackmailing. So emotional blackmailing, we also do, and our children also learn to do. So that is one thing you should avoid. Crying in front of your child, saying that you have spoiled my life or you're not listening to me. All these dialogues would be very detrimental to your child's psyche. So now this is all quite nice to discuss about, and about it's quite theoretical, but what happens in our Indian scenario? So we have this, there are many families now who are nuclear families, but there are still many families in India who are extended families, that grandparents, parents and the children live together, or even joint families are pretty common. So in a nuclear family, होता ऐसे है कि पेरेंट्स एंड द चाइल्ड, समटाइम्स इट्स अ सिंगल चाइल्ड, सो पेरेंट्स काफ़ी इंडल्जेंट होते हैं, बच्चों को जो मन में आए वो बच्चों का सुनते हैं. सो दिस कैन लीड टू चिल्ड्रन हु फाइंड इट डिफिकल्ट टू फेस फेलियर और टू हियर अ नो. वो ना सुनना पसंद ही नहीं करते. ऑपोजिट ऑफ दैट इज द एक्सटेंडेड फैमिली और जॉइंट फैमिली. एक्सटेंडेड फैमिलीज या जॉइंट फैमिलीज होना आज के ज़माने में एक्चुअली इज़ अ ब्लेसिंग, because most parents, both parents are working nowadays, they have jobs. So if you have a responsible adult who is connected to your child, looking after the child in your absence, that is the best thing for a child. But what happens is, because of that, there are pros and cons. So usme, this is a very big advantage that you have a grandparent who is completely emotionally invested in your child. So you are sure that your child is safe and loved. But at the same time, grandparents are very indulgent, and they would like to keep their grandchild happy at any cost. So they indulge the child. After the mother comes back home, she tries to discipline the child, and this causes a lot of conflict, and the child picks up on these conflicts and they use it to their advantage. So if the mother is trying to discipline, they will take the grandmother's support. If the grandmother is complaining about the child's behavior during their absence, it would irritate the mom, she would react. So these are the problems where inconsistencies in disciplining and multiple disciplining persons can cause a lot of discrepancies in the child's behavior because of that. So दोनों तरफ से बैलेंस मेंटेन करना बहुत ज़रूरी है. If it is a joint family, एक म्यूचुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग होना चाहिए adults में कि मेन डिसिप्लिनरी पर्सन कौन है, and if that person is disciplining the child or reprimanding the child, the other should not speak in between, either in support of the child or against the child. So that is very, very important in our scenario in India. And again, working parents. So working parents हो तो एक guilt रहता है, especially mothers में, कि I don't give enough time to my child. So once she's back, you want to keep the child happy. So sometimes you tend to listen to the child too much, and it kind of you become a kind of, you listen to your child rather than the child listening to you. And in the absence of grandparents or family members, you have to depend on house help or a daycare center, where again you worry about the kind of influences your child may be undergoing. So that is another problem that we have here. And the dependence on gadgets. So that is a very big intrusion in our society these days. बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो आजकल adults हो, बच्चे हो, we are hooked to our gadgets. So that kind of makes us very disconnected from each other. So that has also caused a lot of problem in disciplining and a lack of self-discipline. Now, this is the most important aspect that I would like to stress upon. So this is what we say, ki, do as I say, but not as I do. So you expect your child to behave in a particular way, to be disciplined, to be well behaved, to be polite, to be loving. And then sometimes, you realize that you are only preaching to your child, but are you really practicing these things? So children do learn from you, but it's not, you can teach a child throughout the day, be kind to people, talk properly, talk politely. But more than that, talking to your child, telling your child, it is how you are as a person, as a human being, that your children are observing. Our children are always, always, always watching us, listening to us, and we are our children's most important role models. So discipline should actually start with us. For example, like I'm sure आपने सबने मुन्ना भाई लगे रहो मुन्ना भाई देखा होगा, तो उसमें there is a small scene where a young girl is meeting her boy for a first time and she wants to know कि वो लड़का सही है कि नहीं. So he gives a very good advice to her कि see how he treats people who are supposedly lower than you. So that is when she decides, when she sees him talking to a waiter in a very rude manner, she realizes he's not the one I want to be with. So this is what we also need to practice. How do we treat people around us? If you have a maid coming in, do you give her a cup of tea when she comes in? So it's a simple act of kindness. You may feel क्या करना है, उसको क्यों चाय देनी है, but your child is observing you. So you are doing something which your child will appreciate and will practice it in his life. If you are driving through a traffic and you see a red signal, do you stop, or are you tempted to jump the signal? If you are tempted to jump the signal, you are giving your child the encouragement to do the same thing. If you are at home and you get a call from some client and you say, I'm busy in a meeting, so you are lying and your child is observing you. So you are teaching the same thing to your child, that it is okay to lie sometimes. How organized are you? Do you organize your day properly? Do you do all the tasks that you have decided at the right time? Do you pay your bills on time? So all these are things that instill self-discipline, and that when you do, you may not have to discipline your child very actively. If you are an organized person, if you have empathy, if you have gratitude, and if you express your gratitude to people around you for any small thing that they do, then children will also absorb these habits and they will also become empathetic and responsible adults. Another problem with parenting today is the intrusion of screens, as I said, gadgets. So after you come back home, we all have a tendency of keeping connected to our gadgets. Even if your child is telling you something and if you're busy on a WhatsApp, you are only half attentive to your child's talk. And your child can perceive that mom is not completely paying attention to me. Or a father may be working from home. If a child disturbs him, the father may snap at him, don't disturb me, I'm working, I'm busy with something. So we all need to practice screen fasting for some time of the day, especially at the dinner table. Khana khate samay, there should be no gadgets around. They should be kept away. Conversation होना चाहिए, बच्चों के साथ बात होनी चाहिए. रात में भी पहले फैमिलीज बैठ के टीवी सीरियल्स देखते थे, अभी हर एक फैमिली मेंबर अपना गैजेट लेके बैठता है और अपनी पसंद की चीज देखता है. तो फॉर सम टाइम ऑफ द डे इट इज फाइन, बट एट द एंड ऑफ द डे, before sleeping, at least 1 hour before sleeping, you should not be with your screens. If you are not with your screen, then your child will also agree to the same thing. what you watch in front of your children is also very important. If you're watching something very violent or which is not appropriate for your child to view, then it is a very irresponsible behavior as a parent. So you need to watch things that are suitable to your child's eyes as well, and eyes and ears. So all these kind of small things regarding self discipline are very important. And more than continuously disciplining your child, if you stop, think, and introspect, ki, where am I not disciplined, where am I not behaving in an appropriate manner, and if you correct yourself, your child will automatically correct himself or herself, because they are our mirrors and they continuously observe us and absorb whatever is happening around them, and they will behave in the same way and they will reflect back the same behavior to you. So you cannot blame the internet, you cannot blame the friends, you cannot blame the society, because at the end of the day, it is you who are actually responsible for your child's behavior to make them responsible adults. So you have a few short years in which to discipline your children, so make the most of them.
Yeah, thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you for your insightful session. I believe most of the questions are already answered, but I will have one question for you. That is, how much is too much in case of discipline, and are we structuring the children's life too much? Are we as a parent are indulging too much in their life? So
Yes,
during our childhood, we used to have play area or play time where we used to play with all our friends. That freedom is missing, or is nuclear parenting is indulging too much in their life?
yes, nuclear parenting is definitely indulging a lot in children and being more indulgent to their children. And uh, most mothers have got into the habit of continuously monitoring their child, and we have this belief that अगर हम बच्चे को कुछ एक्टिविटी ना दें तो बच्चा बोर हो जाएगा. And so what we are doing is we are bombarding our children with different activities. Abhi, before the lockdown, it was different classes. So there would be abacus, there would be Vedic maths, there would be some sports, there would be music, piano, drums, tuitions, school. So a child would slog through the day, and from morning to late afternoon, a child is in school, which is followed by one activity after the other. So the child doesn't get to explore on his own, and the natural curiosity that a child would have about different activities is slowly starts fading out, and they just start moving around like robots, doing this one activity after the other. And it's not just doing the activity. Every mother wants her child to excel in that particular activity, so that pressure is also too much. So exposing them to competition which is quite unhealthy. Healthy competition is fine, small competition, small things, but insisting that they participate in everything and insisting that they win is making children very uh, it's making difficult for children to accept failure, to accept boredom, and to be able to be with themselves, sometimes doing just nothing.
Right, ma'am. And am I audible to you?
Yes.
Yeah. There is a question with the virtual world.
Yes,
The everything is happening online. Even the parents are working from home, so their working hours are different. And
yes,
at times they are in webinar, they are in meeting. So how to, and even the children are learning from virtual learning. So they are
exactly.
spending more time together. And how to
Yes.
manage, especially when you are in a meeting or a virtual meeting, how to manage a child.
Yeah, that is a very difficult situation, I think, for people who are working from home, and especially in a nuclear family. If you have somebody to help you, yes, surely you can ask them to take care of your child, look after them. But if it's only you and the child, I think the best thing would be for both the parents to kind of organize their work schedules in such a way that one parent remains free for the child while the other works. So again, in today's scenario, I think the work and home front have kind of merged, and lot of people who are working from home are complaining that there is no cutoff for them, so they're always working. So I think the place of work also should understand that parents need to have space. Even though they're working from home, they need to kind of organize their priorities. So ideally, I think the best thing would be to, for both parents to divide their time of work, so that one parent can devote their time to the child while the other person works.
Yeah, ma'am. And there was one question about joint family, but I believe you have already answered that. That all the
Yeah.
family members should follow the same discipline, because
Yeah.
at times the mother tries to tell the discipline things or right etiquette to
Yeah.
the children, and
Yeah.
grandparents will pamper the child.
Yeah, and
So
it's,
there is a
I
question.
think
Yeah.
it's both ways. In fact, we do, mothers, as mothers, we do try to discipline our child, and sometimes we overdo it. So
Yes.
sometimes if a child is having a meltdown, sometimes we also get so irritated that instead of trying to understand why the child is having a meltdown, we start shouting and trying to, stop the tantrum. Sometimes it's the grandmother who has the insight to say he may be hungry, he may be tired. So it's actually necessary for both to mutually understand each other. So it's not just we who are right, it's sometimes the elders in our home who are also sometimes right, and they have a more softer approach to the child. So sometimes we over discipline, and the grandparents can kind of be good buffers for that as well.
Yeah. Probably this is a time when parents and grandparents can have the collaborative approach, understand each
Definitely.
other's
Yes.
psyche as well, and
Yes.
the way of discipline.
Yes.
So thank you very much, ma'am, for your time and your wonderful presentation.
Thank you so
Even
much.
me as a
Pleasure.
parent has got so many answers to my questions as well. So I believe all the attendees must have received their questions. If you still have any questions which are unanswered, you can write it to us on I am the best mom, or you can visit our group on Facebook, that is I am the best mom group, and we do have the website for the same. So we'll convey you the answers. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for your time again.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Right.